So today's lesson is going to be about how we find and work with fractions. So the first part of today's lesson is going to be quite straightforward really, and hopefully this will just ring a few bells really with stuff you've done in the past. So we're going to look at how we find the fraction of an amount. So again, I've put a couple of key steps really, which you should be quite familiar with, and that is the idea that we divide by the denominator and then we multiply by the numerator. That's because the denominator tells us how many parts we're sharing something out into, and the numerator tells us how many of those parts we've got. So again, I've got a couple of easy examples here that we're just going to work through. First one says a seventh of 84 grams. So to find a seventh, we're just going to do 84 divided by 7. And again, hopefully you can do that in your head. So 84 divided by 7 is 12. Okay. So 1/7 of 84 grams is 12 grams. Next one we're going to do in two stages. So this time we've got, instead of a numerator of 1, we've got a numerator of 3. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say that 1/5 is, and then we're going to do our calculation. So we're going to do 85 divided by 5, because that's the bottom of the fraction, that's what we're sharing it into. And again, we could do that in our head. I'll do bus stop division. I get that to be 17. Okay, so that's $17. I'm not going to put the dollar sign in yet. And then we're going to do something called ribboning. I call it ribboning because it's like you're doing the same thing to both sides. And if you do it lots of times, it looks like a set of ribbons kind of bouncing down the sides. So if 1/5 is 17, then to find 3/5, we're going to times that by 3. So 3/5 is, and again, if we do 17 times 3, because we're timesing that value by 3 as well, and 17 times by 3 is 51. So our answer is going to be $51. Okay. So to find a fraction, you divide by the denominator and you multiply by the numerator. So always set it up so you've got 1/5 and then you want to find 3/5. Okay, so hopefully that'll just be something that you're very confident with and comfortable with and you've worked with before. The next part of today's lesson though is something that's probably going to be a little bit new. And it's something we did similarly with percentages and reverse percentages. We're going to find what's called a reverse fraction. So this is where you've actually found the fraction of an amount and you want to work backwards. Okay, so again, I'm going to use this ribbon method and I'm going to set up some statements. Because like the ribbon method here, we went from 1/5 to 3/5 by timesing both sides by something. We can do the same thing here. We're going to divide both sides. So I'm going to set up this statement in our example as a clear statement first of all. So we've got 3/5 of an amount is £33. So we're actually told 3/5 is £33. Okay, that's our statement. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and work back to the original amount. Now the original amount to me is like the whole. So because we've got fractions of 5, we want 5/5. If we had a statement, say 5/8 of something was a particular value, so 5/8 was say £50. If you wanted to get back to the original amount, you'd want to get back to 8/8. Okay, so you want to get the numerator and the denominator to be the same. So here, if we've got 3/5 is £33, then I'm going to do a ribbon. So on both sides, we're going to divide by 3. And the reason why I'm dividing by 3 is because I want to get back to this unit fraction. Yeah, just like I had in the earlier example where we had 1/5 of something, that's the same thing I want now. I want one part of the fraction. So if I divide 3/5 by 3, I get a statement of 1/5 is, and if I divide 33 by 3, I get 11. So if 1/5 is £11, what I can now do is do another ribbon, and this time I'm going to times by 5 on both sides. And you can see hopefully it starts to like ribbons, like bouncing down. And 5/5 is, and if I times that by 5, I get 55. So the original amount must have been 55 to get 3/5 of the amount being 33. And again, you can work backwards, which is just going back through the ribbons. If we started with 55 and we divided it by 5, we'd get 11. That would be 1/5. And then we times it by 3 to get 3/5. We get 33. So reverse fractions are what we say when we're going from a fraction of an amount back to the full part, the original amount.